What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Music Making Sense podcast. It's Parkos and the one, the only KP with us right here today. As always, how the hell you doing today, KP?
I'm doing good, dude. Oh no, this is Gatorade. No, sir, dude. Nah,
that's
but
good. That's just poison.
Yeah, oh hell yeah. But no, just I've been working. Just got off this work Saturday, Sunday, or yesterday. Sorry, when we closed, and finally, I guess just rest today. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely do some work on composing. Get some songs done because I got the next 4 days off. So
yeah, I see your keyboard right there next to you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start working on some compositions, and I've been doing some research on not research, but I've been using the hell out of ChatGPT, and I've been coming up with some really cool ideas. And it was just funny when you texted me saying that I damn near was giving you a coaching job.
So for those of y'all, so on the last episode, so I was editing the last, we run like a week behind, right? So this episode that you're listening to right now, everyone listening, we shot it a week prior to when it actually came out. So I was finishing up editing the video yesterday, and for the last episode 11, and I was sitting there, I was like, damn, man, he damn near gave me a fucking critique on like the kind of music I should make if I'm a conscious artist and all that kind of shit and everything. And yeah, well, so because I sent you a message about that. Yeah,
right, because it was weird, because it was strange, because what I thought about, and when you texted me that, because you texted me that yesterday, I was just getting off work, and I had hopped on the bus and stuff, and so I was just like, okay, and then just read it, and then I was pretty tired, so I went ahead and went to sleep.
Yeah, it's all good.
And but at the same time, just the words were just kind of lingering in my head, what you had texted me.
Right, yeah, because you weren't able to like listen to it again yet. You're like, what the fuck was he talking about?
No, I knew what you were talking about immediately.
Okay.
And but what it was that it was intriguing to me, because as music marketers, and the fact that we have with our backgrounds and things, and as I was telling you about your knowledge on rock, right? You have a lot more knowledge on it than you think, but at the same time, being that you're a marketer, you were able to give me ideas that I wasn't even thinking about as far as creating content. So in a sense, it was like being that I love conscious rap, lyrical rap. And as a fan, what would be those things that I would love to see? Right. And that's what I was thinking of. So it was like, in a sense, we were both able to give each other gems subconsciously give each other gems, not realizing that, damn, like, we did. And it doesn't
just apply to either one of us though either, because anybody who listens, whether they make hip hop or they make rock or anything in between, or they want to do a little bit, what I'm saying, like it applies. No, it's just, it's very interesting, because what you're referring to is on episode 10, whenever I broke down like how I would want to promote a rock group, and how there's like 4 people in it, and it makes it amazing. It's like you got 4 fucking people, 4 different like avenues to take content, man. Like you could be the king of content in music shit, and like, because there's always, like I said in that episode, there's always going to be some people that are more into doing it and some people that are less into doing it. But either way, you have 4 people, that's going to balance out like a motherfucker. If you just got, if you're a solo artist doing any genre, you're a solo artist, you're heavily relying on only yourself to create content, only your personal interest to have interest-based content, your own creativity, unless you work with some other people to help you create the content. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I feel like at times with conscious artists, they need that help. They need somebody who can be a visual, how would I would say, visual create, yeah, a visualizer or a visual creator for them to help them get those, like, get certain ideas out, because you're in your own world, you're solo. Right. So it's like, hey, you know what? Give them some ideas, because they may be stuck on them. Like, it's because you're solo, so it's only your ideas.
Yeah,
and no one else to bounce off of.
Yeah, unless you have like a videographer that you work with on the regular and shit like that, you know. Yeah, absolutely. And that, ironically, I was actually so for those of y'all listening who don't know, here the last week or two, I started posting on social, mainly on Twitter and on Facebook. I'm going to be posting on all the other platforms too. I created a video for it, but what we started doing here at Music Making Sense Podcast is giving out free music marketing reviews.
Yeah.
And so I created a couple posts and said, hey, drop a link to your best song. Like, this is one of the posts that I posted. I says, regardless of genre, if you want a free music marketing review, drop your link below, right? And that was on Facebook.
Yeah.
And so I've had some people put some stuff in, right? And I've given people their reviews, and they've had good reception and everything like that. It's been pretty good, because I'm not critiquing the music, and I'm just, going over their actual marketing. I'm not hitting the art, because I know how that is, as an artist. I'm not trying to critique the art, because it's not everybody's art is not for everybody. And so, but I had this one artist, speaking of what you're just talking about, right, to stay on topic, what you're talking about. So I had one artist, one of the first few that I sent out. So he dropped a link, and so then I responded back in a private message. I gave him his marketing review, and honestly, like, it was mostly flowers, because what I liked about his stuff is that on every platform that he had, he did a different style of content. So he focused a lot on written content on Twitter and Facebook, which is where that kind of stuff shines a little bit better. And then he had on his Instagram, it was all like visual art, right? It like really wasn't really about the music on that. It was a whole nother element on his Instagram. He didn't even promote any music. It was all just artwork that he's created or artwork that he saw and shit like that. So like, it spoke to another element of him as an artist.
Right.
And then, on his YouTube and stuff like on that, he had, especially his YouTube, he had some long form content of like shows, like hour-long stuff, and then a couple of small things, and then a couple of music videos.
Okay.
And so, and he was a conscious hip-hop artist from the UK, and I got a soft spot for that kind of shit. For some reason, the UK, the UK rocks with me really hard, and I got a spot for them, so it is what it is. And so my thing was like, my review was like 3/4 like flowers and love. Like, I even said specifically, I got a soft spot for conscious UK hip hop. I like what you're doing. And he not only posted his music, but he also posted different things that he's interested in. And he's a conscious artist, so he's a little bit more political and stuff like that when it comes to not necessarily like the binary of politics, but like society politics in general and stuff, like rights and all that shit. And so I like gave him all that, and the only critique I gave him was that he should break down his long form content into more smaller pieces of video content and post those across all the platforms. That was the only fucking critique I had for him. That was it.
That was it.
I told him personally, I love his music and everything like that. Like, I like the vibe of it and everything. Like, I actually gave him flowers on the music, which I've been staying away from talking about the art itself, right?
Yeah. But when you hear something that you love, you just can't help it.
Exactly.
You can't.
Exactly. But what I've been intentionally not listening to the music, because I didn't want to develop a bias, either pro or con, right? But for whatever reason on his, I clicked on it and started listening. And so then after that, I stopped doing it and stuff like that, because I'm like, I don't want to give myself a bias either way. I just want to look at the images, like, because if somebody's scrolling through a social media, they're going to see before they hear. So I'm like, okay, let me focus on seeing first. Well, anyway, he responded back as if I critiqued his art in a negative way, and like super defensive, saying how he didn't ask for my opinion on anything or anything like that. And I said, I apologize if there's any misunderstanding. I was very professional. I through multiple messages. Right. I was like, I apologize if there's any misunderstanding, but the post said, if you would like a free music marketing review, put your link below. And you put your link below. So I gave you a free music marketing review. You know, and like he just kept going back and forth, like, oh, well, I told him how we're a podcast, we help out with that, marketing and stuff like that, right. And I'm not trying to ask for nothing. I'm just, giving critique and stuff like that, trying to build network and everything with artists. And yeah, he was just very, very negative, very defensive, kept bringing it back to me critiquing his art in a negative way when I fucking told him I would love to make a track with him. Like, this fucking dude off his goddamn rocker. So fuck no, I'm not making a track with you now. But like, yeah, and then like,
oh boy.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, like
it's weird.
Crazy. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And just like kept going back to like he's from the UK, so he talks in a little different way, but also he's the way he was typing seemed hyper pretentious at the same time. And so he was just like condescending and just like a fucking asshole, basically. When I gave him mostly love, I gave him one pointer on what so the pointer I just told you about, breaking long form down to short form. And then another one was, hey, I noticed your mobile version of your website is a little hard to navigate. Your desktop is perfectly fine, but your mobile is a little harder to navigate, maybe just a little tweaking. Like those two things. But I told him how I like the diversity of his content on all the different platforms. It was something different on every platform.
Right.
I liked how, he did more than just say stream my music, buy my music, everything like that, right? He was actually like giving out shit, and I'm like, dude, that's dope. And he went a couple of days without hitting me back, and then just hit me back actually, a few hours ago, saying, basically doubling down about how he didn't ask for my fucking opinion. And I'm paraphrasing and putting it in my own language, but he didn't ask for my fucking opinion. And yeah, there was a misunderstanding. He misread the thing, the post and everything like that. But instead of saying, hey, I apologize, I misread the post, my bad, he just kept fucking shooting at me, right? And so I was trying to be very professional and trying not to be reactionary to shots taken at me. But like this guy just like kept going about like, and this morning he was going in about like, marketing is what's wrong with the music industry, and everybody always trying to make money, everybody trying to make a profit and sell and hyper selling when it's about the art and the culture that the art brings and everything like that, right? He's going into that. And I messaged back and I said, dude, that's literally the marketing strategy I have, is where you give people the art for free and you're not selling. And then he's like, oh, well, that's very contradictory with the name of your podcast is Music Making Sense Podcast, and you're not wanting to make any sense, and I'm like, okay. So I just didn't even message him back because, and then of course, he ended the thing with enough typed, after the end of the fucking tirade. And I was just like, oh my God, man. Like, I even told him, I was like, hey, man, like, we're not about like hyper salesy, sell, push type of fucking marketing over here. Listen to, I was like, check out the podcast and see, because you're horribly misconstrued. Like, he literally just did no research, saw the name of the podcast and was like, oh, you're what's wrong with the music industry. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, go check me out first. Like, I gave you a free music marketing review. Didn't ask you for shit. I didn't even ask you for your fucking email, bro. Like, I didn't ask you for a fucking thing. So I went in no sales process. Like, fucking all the salespeople, Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, they would fucking punch me in the face for my lack of sales process with that outreach that I did on his fucking thing. And this motherfucker want to act like I'm a little heated on
I don't think Gary Vee. I don't think Gary Vee would punch. I don't think Gary Vee would do the punching. I think he would be like, that would be good, because that is a great. See, here's the thing.
Yeah, but see, I gave without asking anything. So this is what I was saying. Yeah.
Right. But here's the thing. I'm saying this about dude. The problem with Homeboy is immediately what I hear from this clown is that sorry, but he doesn't understand business. No. He doesn't understand that music is a business. I don't care about how he wants to sell. It's like he's looking at it as an art and all that. Okay, we get all that. But even artists who paint pictures sell their goddamn art.
And one thing that's hyper contradictory with him is he said multiple times, if we would like to have him on for an interview to let him know, but he doesn't want my marketing advice. And then he also said, if I know anybody booking paid shows to let him know. He specifically said, I'm focused on getting paid shows, not worrying about things. So like,
now, did he say that to you within the argument?
Yes, within within the messages. Yeah, he was talking about how it's not about making money, but I'm looking for paid shows.
Sounds like to me, Homeboy is trying to sell us. He's trying to sell us something too.
Nah, he didn't even. I didn't see that.
No. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you get. He's trying to sell this
a line of bullshit.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. He's selling a line of bullshit, trying to act higher than high and mighty and shit like that. But then he's like, if you know anybody with,
he's trying to be that
conscious
Raptors.
Yeah. Rapper. Exactly. And I'm just like, for one, you did no research on us because we don't even have a fucking English accent. So how the fuck am I going to book you anything in the UK? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, oh, you know what? Actually, I could probably do it because I know a fuck ton of artists over in the UK and a couple of labels in the UK. You know, but even if he did, like, obviously people don't know that. The first time for a lot of you are hearing that. But if he even looked in a little bit to the fucking podcast, a little bit.
I've coached an artist in the UK.
Yeah. Well, fuck, dude. I've done multiple collaborations with UK artists. And whenever I had my old radio show style podcast, half of my fucking playlist every fucking week, I had 2 shows a week. And half of the playlist was UK artists every episode for like a couple years, you know? So yeah, I got connections in the UK, but no, you're not getting a fucking piece of them from me. You know what I'm saying? Off of that shit, man. Like, that's garbage. So like, and I kind of wanted to bring that up today, but then what you were saying kind of triggered me to bring it up right now and stuff, because, you know, a lot of artists, they don't want to take like the nicest of constructive criticism.
No, they don't.
No. But then they want to like bitch, moan, and complain about different things against them. You know what I'm saying? And it's so like having kind of been there before myself, I know that you have to step outside of yourself in order to look at things clearly and objectively and try to improve on yourself and be more critical on yourself than what you allow other people to be. And you know, so like whenever I look at what I'm doing and stuff like that, I look at this, that, and the third and everything, and I'm like, man, I can improve here, here, and here, and here. But then if somebody gives me a critique, I welcome it because it's less harsh than what I give myself, you know? And you know, it's very interesting because I got like 10 of these music video review, or 10 of these music marketing reviews under my belt now that I've been doing with people. And he was like number 2 or 3 or something like that, right? And then I got like 7 more I gotta knock out. And for those of y'all listening, I'm going to start creating a short little video and posting them up on all the places you're hearing this right now. I'm going to start posting them up there as well too, so for some bonus content for you.
I gotta get back on Facebook, guys. So I'm gonna
KP. He's not on Facebook right now, but
really good idea for me for our Instagram. Thank you, because that was one thing I was thinking about was for Instagram if I was going to go live, because that was something I've been discussing with you, and the fact that you are handling that Facebook, and I'm glad that you are. Really, thank you. So now with the fact that you got the Facebook, I can go ahead and handle Instagram live, go on there and start doing reviews and Q&As too. Good idea.
Yeah, so, exactly. Yeah. Because, you know, KP's been doing a lot of other things. So I just been kind of like experimenting with this music review thing on my own and stuff like that. But KP, you know, he's like, hey, you know, I'll start getting into that too and stuff. So that's cool. But yeah, so
this is a service that we are offering.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's absolutely
so
free and everything like that. We send you the fucking review, and then we can chat. We have open line of communication. We don't say, oh, if you want to talk more, give us $100. We don't do that shit. Like if you want us to actually work for you, then yes, there are fees. But like just to fucking shoot the shit a little bit, no big deal, man. Not a big deal at all. Cause like, like we've said before, we give free initial consultations, and so this is a form of an initial consultation that's actually smaller than our video consultation, because our video ones that we do are about a half hour or so. But with this, I just look at your social medias, check out your content, and then shoot you a fucking couple that's like 4 or 5 paragraphs, something like that. Depends on everybody's a little different. Some people were like 3 paragraphs, some people like 7. That motherfucker wanted me to fucking go on for like 3 days arguing with his ass. But
like, man, dude,
yeah, exactly. But like I've had very, very good reception besides him on everything. Like one person said, oh, appreciate it, dope. Is this the kind of thing you do? And I was like, yeah, this is what we do. This is, I told him a little bit about the podcast and then my personal marketing and everything like that I give. And he was like, oh, okay, what's your prices? And I told him, he's like, all right, cool, thank you. And that was it. No problem. But then like everybody else has like either had a little bit of back and forth conversation with me or, appreciated the advice and stuff like that. And then since I just left it there, it's open, and it doesn't seem predatory like a lot of these other marketers are, where these marketers are just like, hey, let me give you something for free. And then they follow up and they just start fucking hammering you because now you're a fucking lead and they want to keep hammering that lead until you fucking turn into gold or lead, one of the two. And it's just, it's just not there. But yeah, so like me and KP were talking behind the scenes about how to attack our marketing, right? And for the podcast, and it's something that you guys can probably take some advice from as well too, especially if it's more than just you're more than a solo artist. So what me and KP is mainly on he mainly operates on Instagram for the most part. And that's kind of his realm. That's what he has been doing for years. That's where he knows. And like he said a second ago, he doesn't even have a Facebook account, right? But as for me, I've been operating mainly on Facebook since like 2009, right? And I've played around with a lot of the other platforms and stuff like that, and I got a decent handle on them. But my main place where I have a lot of knowledge and a lot of integration and interaction is what I mean with people is on Facebook and stuff like that. And I know how to work it, how to work the groups properly and stuff like that. And so, I was telling him, I'm like, hey, look, I'm going to start branching into X or Twitter and really starting to learn that, because it is very similar to Facebook, and rumor mill is pumping out a lot of rumors about X that it's going to be something pretty substantial in the future. Maybe not in the next 3 weeks, but in the next 3 years, absolutely. And so I want to kind of be on top, and so that I can learn how to utilize that as much as possible, because if it turns out to be half of what they fucking say it's going to be, it's going to be the place, and regardless of anybody's personal opinion on Musk or anything like that, it's irregardless, because the platform is way bigger than one human. It was even bigger than Jack Dorsey when Jack Dorsey was running the shit. It was way bigger than him. And everybody always wanted to fucking shoot DMs and ats at Jack in a negative way, but they never shoot out anything positive either. So it doesn't really matter. And Jack is like opposite of Elon when it comes to, his antics. Right. But yeah, so I'm like, all right, well, you're really, really focused on Instagram and stuff like that. I really don't know shit about Instagram. You focus on Instagram with helping marketing the platform and stuff, and you're wanting to go live and stuff like that. Right now I don't have a lot of time, so you go ahead and do it whenever you got time. Feel free, do whatever you want to do. And then if you can record the content, then cool, and we can post it up everywhere else, right? And kind of go from there, and I'll focus on Facebook and Twitter. And so we kind of divided and conquered. And last week's episode, episode 10, I talked about, the marketing possibilities that a band does,
and now we're doing this,
Yeah, exactly. And we're doing something similar. There's only two of us. You know, it's not like there's 4 or 5 or whatever that's in a normal band. But, you know, if you are not a solo artist, or even if you are a solo artist and you got your brother or your homeboy or something like that, you know, or your sister or your mom, whatever, whatever kind of dynamic, a best friend or a relative or something that's right there with you, but they're off camera, you can start dividing and conquering a little bit, because as just one person trying to take on the world, which is how I mainly operate, just to let you know, I mainly operate as a solo, me against the world, like, you know, 12.0 type of shit. And it is difficult. So, I mean, any one of y'all who are solo artists and you're feeling like you got the weight of the world you're trying to push around to make benefit you, I know exactly what you're talking about. But at the same time, with me and KP working together on this shit, I also realize and know, hey, look, even if you just have one other person that can help you in any way, it's going to be more beneficial to you. And so, you know, that kind of eliminates any excuses any group or any band has as to why they can't market. Because not only hypothetically, if you got 4 members of your group, whatever kind of genre it is, you got 4 members of your group, that's not only 4 separate incomes that can contribute, you know, into 4 pieces into your marketing budget financially, but then also creatively and content wise, you got 4 different avenues of approach as well too. So you know, if a piece of marketing costs $1,000, well, if you're a solo artist, you got that $1,000 bill. But if you're a group of 4 or 5 or whatever, you split that, it's a lot easier to chew and you can go a lot further, you know. And I've seen rock bands do that. You know, they got like fucking 6, 7 people in a fucking band. Everybody has a fucking job. If everybody can pitch in a couple $100 a month, I mean, that's like, you know, $1 grand or 2 every month you guys can put towards marketing. Fuck, get out of here, man.
There's this band, dude, that I would love for you guys to check out. They're called Calva Louise. That's CALVA LOUEI. Or no, IE. I'm sorry. Yeah. LOUIE. Calva Louise. No, damn it, I just screwed that up again. Okay,
it's all good.
Calva Louise.
Calva Louise. All right.
Yeah, Calva Louise. So it's LO. No, I'm a good speller. Damn it, I just got to get this right. LO.
Yeah, I'm a good speller. I just can't fucking spell, right?
I'm gonna flip you off right here like dice. Okay, no, dude. Okay, so it's LOU.
I'm clipping the fuck out of this.
ISE. Yeah, Louise.
Okay.
So they're from the UK, and the lead, she's a bass player, keyboardist, and lead vocalist. I think her name's Calva or Louise, I think, but anyway, she's an amazing video creator. She's an amazing videographer. She does her videos for the band. They're a 3-piece band, but she does the videography for them and the videos for them. Oh my God, impeccable.
Yeah, and that's something else that you can do too, is that you can not only have financially split the load for marketing and stuff like that, but I mean, you're all creative people, you all have your own creative outlets. If you got somebody who's dope at doing photography or videography, like that Calva Louise band, I mean, that's a hell of an asset right there to get you off the ground.
Yeah,
that's a hell of an asset. I mean, that's something. I taught myself how to do decent music video work and stuff like that for myself, so I can do it myself and save a ton of money, and also have the ability to, possibly venture into doing that, for commission and stuff like that to people. And so yeah, I mean, like, right there, she's great at videography and she has a high passion for it because it is her band and stuff like that. She got a lot more attention to detail for it. That's amazing. That's amazing. And I'm sure the other members of the band also does something else kind of like that. Like maybe someone's good at doing shirts and the other one's good at, like, creating logos or something like that, or like all that kind of other creative stuff that you need for not just online marketing, but just marketing in the third person as well too, or in the real world.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull them up right quick because I really want you to check these guys out there. So the work she does is just so amazing, dude. Like, I've never seen anybody in a band do this type of video work. Okay, well, I'll take that back. Adam Jones, since Adam Jones of Tool, I've never seen anybody do this type of work. I don't think, are they on a label? Let me see, because I want to make sure that we can at least.
You can just play it without the audio.
All right.
Yes. Yeah, just play it without the audio, and that way we won't have any issues like we did with that Usher song. Yeah, just mute that real quick, and then you can go ahead and play whatever. Yeah.
So as you can see, just the way she does this. This is her creation right here, dude.
Yeah, that's like a lot of animation and stuff with the text on the screen. For those of y'all not watching, it's pretty cool. Like, it almost looks like it's
like a movie. It's like a movie.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, it's like a movie / video game trailer type of situation. Yeah, that's cool. And then, like, it almost looks like it's like an AI created thing, but then it also has them in the thing too. And so it's like they are, oh wait, now they're playing. Damn, Jesus.
Yeah, dude.
This is dope. Y'all need to go check out them, because like this is like a sci-fi video game, but then they've injected themselves into it too, probably with green screening, which is very simple. And then they have this like everything going behind them. Man, yeah, this looks like it should be like a music, like a video game trailer almost.
Yeah, man, this is some shit. To me, this is the type of shit that needs to be. This is some rock star type shit, dude. Come on, like let's really give it up, man. This is a band that needs to be fucking like be talked about right now, because for people to say, "Oh, rock is dead" and all that shit, dude, and that's why I had made that point about like when people are saying it's dead, it's like, no, dude, you just gotta look into the internet. You gotta look into the internet. You gotta look at social media. You gotta look at where we are now. We're in social media. These bands they're not on MTV and shit anymore, dude. That's just, they're not, you know what I'm saying? And
not even on local radio.
Not even on local radio anymore. I mean, well, actually, I'll take the, well, here in Seattle, they're a lot more on local radio.
Okay.
I have to say that.
That makes sense with Seattle, yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot more, there are way more. And so, but at the same time, for people to think that, you know, there aren't bands out there and no one's doing anything in rock and metal, it's like, no, you're just not really paying attention to what's going on social media. You're not typing in your Google search of rock and metal. You know, I mean, like, it's that
exactly.
Simple.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
but yeah,
this is
we can go ahead and cut that out. Yeah. But so like, yeah, they for those of y'all who want to go check that out, if you're just listening only, just make sure you go check them out and stuff. I'll put a link to the video or something like that in the description for y'all. But yeah, I get what you're saying, man. Like, you know, and that kind of goes back to, you know, things I've said before, you know, when we're talking about like the episode talking about SEO is utterly useless, because people are not, when people don't look for music on Google mostly, right? You know, and every time I say that, people are like, oh, well, I do. It's like, bullshit, you do. You go to Spotify or whatever, you look for a specific mood playlist, or you have one song that you already know and it's already kind of running through your head that you want to listen to, and you click that one and then you just hit random shuffle afterwards, or you go to, you know, like whatever playlists, you know, like if you're on Spotify, you got the Discover Weekly or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You do those kind of things to find music. You don't go to Google to find music. And like you said, you know, people are not going to Google and typing in rock or metal, because then they're just going to get like dictionary definitions of it, or maybe like the biggest magazines, you know, or online websites for rock and metal, you know? Right.
Yeah, sorry, I did make it a little bit too broad. Bless you. I was just making a little bit too broad of a subject. You're right, but
no, I get what you're saying.
Right, but you're right. Yeah.
So
you be more detailed about it. Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Absolutely.
to jump out and you got to be creative. Like
Mm,
that music video right there is hyper creative. Like, somebody who knows how to do music, like how to do editing and stuff like that with
mhm.
video, I know that they were on like a green screen set doing that. And if one of the band members put that together themselves, then that is where they have their skill. That quite possibly is where they have made a decent amount of, excuse me, a decent amount of their money in
Mhm.
order to help them put investment into the band. But then also, you know, they are using their skills to help further themselves, because I
Right.
mean, it's not like she's a music video videographer and then doesn't do her own. She did her own and it looks pretty dope. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what we're talking about when you got to use what you have until what you have pays for what you want. That's like one of my favorite quotes.
Adam
that
Ivy says that.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly. That's I got it off of him years ago. Use what you have until what you have pays for what you want. That's great.
Yep.
Like that is like the biggest thing I got from him. And I listened to him for a while, checked out a lot of his videos, took one of his courses, all kinds of shit.
Yep.
And
Me too.
that's like the biggest thing that I take away. And I always tell artists this too, when they're like, oh, I need to start, I need to get a camera so I can start getting my own music videos and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, you got a fucking phone. Like, and then I got to show these artists. I'm like, look, I've made multiple music videos with fucking Android and with an iPhone, right? I've
Nikki
done
and
multiple.
Moose, shout out to Nikki and Moose says the same thing. Nikki says
Yeah.
you can use your phone. Start off with your phone.
Yeah. And you can shoot 1080p or even 4K with your fucking phone.
Yep.
Now, the only thing that is limiting on a phone, whereas a regular digital camera can get, is where you can adjust like the light aperture and stuff like
Right.
that. Like you can on a camera to take in or take out, light and stuff like that in a different way. You can't really do that on a camera phone,
Mhm.
but you can still
They're trying to improve it
create
on
good
these newer
shit.
phones. They're now
Yeah.
they are trying to improve that on the newer phones, of
Right,
flip
and
phones.
that's fine, but even if
Right,
you had,
but
like, an
even if
iPhone 7, you can
yeah,
still fucking shoot a 1080p video, as
yeah,
long as your camera lens isn't cracked, you're good, like I said, I've shot on iPhone and on Android before and created good music videos because
I
most of it is exactly, right there for those
still
y'all
have
watching,
a
he's
I still
got
have
his
a dinosaur.
yeah, this is fucking look at that fossil. You got a fossil iPhone over here. But you got a fossil iPhone over here,
I am
but
gonna upgrade now, bro. So
that's
yeah,
what that's what you keep
definitely.
saying. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I am. I really will. I will definitely
Yeah.
upgrade, guys.
But you can do all kinds of shit. And as much as you can do for yourself is great, but
Mhm.
when people come to you and suggest things to you, it just go with it,
Yeah.
or just say, you know, thanks, I'll take that in consideration. And then that's it.
Yep.
You don't that me for one, I was in the wrong for wasting time with that guy, but I wanted to try to see what could come of it. Not from a financial
That
benefit,
always
but
happens,
from a
yeah. But from a
conversation.
conversation, yeah.
Yeah, because like I was like, okay, you misunderstood. Let me try to help clarify. And then I'm like, okay, you're still misunderstanding. And then I'm like, okay,
You're a wasted breath. You're a waste of
you've
breath,
went
waste of time.
fully off the fucking deep end.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And so, yeah, I let him have the last word by saying enough typed, right? In a very,
Right.
very, Valley Girl attitude type of way. But, and I'm not responding back. And so he's going to feel like he won. Okay, fine, whatever.
Right.
It's not always about me feeling like I need to win. That is something that I personally struggle with a little bit, but I'm working on, because I used to be like that, especially on social media a few years back. Whenever I was like really, really into it, I was like always,
Yeah.
always arguing with people on fucking social media, and I always had to like feel like I won, you know,
Yeah.
and and
I
like
know the feeling.
yeah, and it wasn't even out of a thing like, oh, I can never be wrong, because I would only ever pick a fight when I knew I was right, when I had all kinds of shit on my side and everything like that.
Hmm.
That was something I never was like, oh, I'm blatantly wrong. And then like you guys have witnessed on here, if I say something and KP corrects me, I'm like, oh, Okay, well, yeah, I stand corrected.
Yeah.
And like this comes with maturity, and it just
Absolutely.
so that was one of the things I was wanting to talk about is just like, you gotta be open to
Mm-hmm.
some shit. And that is one of,
Perspective.
yeah, you gotta have that perspective. And I will give it to him that the term marketing has been used in so many different ways. Technically the term marketing is used for when you are trying to get yourself into in front of potential clients, potential
Right.
people who can give you money, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal of marketing, is to make you visible to people so that you can then do the selling process and convert to income, right? That is absolutely true.
Mm-hmm.
But that comes secondary. It's a 3-step process.
Yep.
You have to create the awareness and then go down the sales process. And it's called a funnel for a reason, because it's bigger at the top and it funnels down to just a select few. And ClickFunnels, the company, has muddied the fuck out of that name as well too. So when you tell somebody you create a funnel, like, oh, you're using ClickFunnels, or are you a scammer? It's like, no, you fucking idiot. It's a standard marketing practice. It's like you cast a wide net and drag it in and see what you catch, like fishing, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're doing, And so every one of y'all, just remember, even if you're trying to be pure to the art form that you create,
Mm-hmm.
you also have to realize that you want your art form in front of as many people as possible, but also the right people. And so you have to learn the skill, or you have to be willing to, commission it off to somebody else. But you have to use the skill of marketing in order to get the right fan base and as many of them as possible. Because then, even if you worked on pure donations, you didn't sell a fucking thing, you could still do well off donations if you build the right fan base. And you could say pure of heart, right? Like, I'm a 501c3, or, I am a charity. I only get donations. I don't sell a single thing. Any merchandise that I do sell, all profits go to, a humane society or whatever. You know what I'm saying? People can be like the most conscious, like you said, that guy is the conscious artist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can do that, but you have to have the audience.
Yeah.
And you just, you have to have marketing. And this is called Music Making Sense Podcast, but the word sense is spelled, like money, but it also is about making sense, as in logical sense too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's funny, like when you said that, is when we were talking about that, he's, when you, with this message that it sounded like he was giving you, as I was saying, sound like he was trying to be the conscious rapper, right? Like, and it was like, okay, you're telling him that it's about the art, but then he's asking you like about if you know any booking agents and things like that. So it's like, okay, so you're angry about your critique. That was a good one. And I mean, it was a good review and you got love. And the fact that we said one of our policies is that we don't want to be, we're not judging the music, or we're not critiquing the music. We're giving you a review on what you can do marketing wise.
Yeah.
Right. And the fact that that's what you did, but because you are a fan of the music that he creates, hey, that was a bonus.
Yeah, and I gave him love for that too. So
yeah,
I said, like, he only had 2 points of correction that I saw off first glance that I would suggest that he made. One, fix the mobile version of your website. Very fucking simple, easy, standard shit.
Yeah.
Even though, I could have went deeper and been like, your template's trash or whatever. But because his template, no, because his template looked like 2002 website layout. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like super basic bitch. Like it was like list form. It was like nothing creative wise. It was just list form. I think I might have said something about put some more pictures and some of your art on your front page to kind of have it more captivating, because it was just white with lists, you know what I'm saying, of all the different things that he does. And then the other one was take your long form content and break it down to smaller pieces and put it out, that way you have something to put out more often, because you're only putting shit out on your YouTube every couple months.
Right.
That's it. Other than that, I loved the diversity in his art and in his marketing that he's doing, whether he wants to admit he's doing marketing or not. He's on social media posting all of his, things that he's doing. That's marketing.
Right.
And he's in all of these fucking music groups on Facebook to share his music so he can have more people listen to it. That's called marketing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so whenever I reviewed that marketing, yeah, exactly. Like you said, he's trying to be the guy. He's
trying to be the conscious rapper that talk about the art and that it's about what it's about. But at the same time, you're wanting him, you're saying to Hart, what he's saying to Harkos is, well, I want to be that guy. I want to be that conscious rapper. And you're telling me these things. And let me tell you who I am and how I gets down. And I'm from the UK, and you need to understand how it goes down over here. And but at the same time, buddy, make sure that you give me a book. If you know any book of agents, let me know if you got to be right.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what it went. And he was like in the same level. He was in the same level of annoying and pretentious as a fucking vegan, right? The vegans that say, but the vegan, not the vegans who are like, I'm doing it for my health. I feel better when I eat vegetables. Those are perfectly fine. It's the vegans who are like, I'm doing it because I don't want to kill defenseless animals. And I'm like, have you ever been to a fucking soybean farm and seen the process of how they just destroy the ground with big fucking pieces of metal to chop up the fucking ground, and anything living in that gets obliterated, right? And then so they do that in the whole ground. They just chop everything up, shred the fucking ground. Insects, moles, mice, everything is chopped the fuck up, right? And then right after the chopping machine, the murder machine, they have a spray that it fucking clears it kills all plants, right? And so they go through and spray that, and the thing that kills all plants is very toxic, right? It's Roundup, right? Essentially. And then what they do is then they come through like a few weeks later, and then they plant the soybean that you're eating, right? They plant that beautiful plant. However, that beautiful plant has been genetically altered to where it is resistant to Roundup because it was introduced at a cellular level in the seed to build it was introduced Roundup in the seed in order to build a resistance from that. So then that way, once your beautiful soybean plant has grown to about a foot tall, they come through and they spray insecticide and herbicide on the fucking field, right? And so then that kills all the insects that started coming back into that, and then it kills all other fucking plant life right in there too. And then before they harvest, they spray one more time with insecticide, not herbicide, but it's an insecticide that time. And then that kills even more bugs. And then when they come through with the combine to take it out, then any animals that may be roaming around in there happen to get caught up in that fucking shit as it's coming through and just destroying the plants, right? But they're doing it because they don't want to hurt any defenseless animals. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're a vegan. And that's as annoying and pretentious as that guy trying to be the conscious artist, doing it for the love of the art. But could you please tell me if you know any bookings? And then has like, and the same thing too is like, they're like, oh, if you want me to come on your show, I will. I'm like, why would I want you to come on my show? You don't fit with what we're doing over here. You sat here and shit on everything that we literally have the show about. So why the fuck would I invite you on the show? So you could just fucking masturbate on TV talking about your fucking music?
Yeah, and that, and I didn't think the audacity of that. Like you
Mm-hmm.
you don't like what he didn't like what you had to say.
Yep.
But then wants to come on to the podcast, but want to come
Yeah.
on the
No, he literally
podcast.
said that he, you know, if we wanted to have him on, or if we wanted to review any of his music, or if we knew any, you know, live show booking, to let him know, because that's what he's focusing on. And I'm like, so you want me to review your fucking art and critique it now? Because you were just telling me how much of a piece of shit I was for trying to do that. Completely
Oh
contradictory.
gosh,
So for those of y'all who are
contradiction.
listening still, don't be like this person.
Yeah,
Do what you
please
can
don't.
to not be like it. Try step outside of yourself a little bit and be like, fuck, am I being like that person that's a dumbass that Harco's had to deal with? I hope not, you know? Because I try not to be like that person.
Yeah, and I'm just making sure I check myself
Mm-hmm.
too to not
Yeah,
be that way.
exactly.
Fuck,
And
dude.
the ego is a motherfucker. It's hard to fight the ego inside yourself. All
Yeah,
right.
it is.
Like you know, everybody battles with that in their own way, you know. So, you know, it's not something that we all never do, but it's something that you need to try to, just as much as possible, just be like, hold on a second. Like as soon as you feel that ego rising up, you're like, hold on, whoa, hold on. Do you need to be here? Because it's a
Yeah,
defensive mechanism, you know, it's a survival tactic.
it's a definite defense mechanism.
Yeah. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it definitely is. But yeah, I'll have to like, you have to go check out the messages. It's on the Music Making Sense Facebook messenger. And so you can go check that shit out, man. It's just like, what the fuck, man. But but yeah, it overall, doing these music reviews have actually been really good, really beneficial. And you know, the goal of them, yeah, is to get more people checking out the podcast, possibly, you know, giving me money for, you know, me and KP money for our marketing services and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But like the initial goal is to just help artists. And
Yeah.
like most of the ones that I've been checking out are fairly new, fairly starting out, only been doing it less than a year or only a couple of years. And
Mm-hmm.
so, you know, that's the goal, is to be like, hey, I see what you're doing. This is what you're doing. Dope. This is what I can see you steering you a little bit that way. Right. And just giving that to people, giving that a little bit of advice, you know, and then just, you know, and then, you know, just letting them know, hey, you know, we're open to talk if you want to talk about anything, whatever, you know, you don't have to
Mm-hmm.
pay us and shit like that unless we actually start, you know, building business relationship, you know. And
Exactly.
that's what we do with this podcast as well too. You know, we come on here. Today's a little bit of a bitch session on my end, but we you know, but at the same time, it's pointing out something that's very, very, you know, very beneficial for a lot of people to try to focus on.
Yeah.
You know, but that's what we do. We come here and we talk about music marketing strategies and stuff like that, and just give you all free game. And so if you want a music marketing review, no matter what genre of music you're in, you know, send us, you know, message, email, whatever the fuck, you know, go to
Mm-hmm.
musicmakingsensepodcast.com, and all right, musicmakingsensepod.com is our
Yeah.
website. And you can reach out to us on any of the socials or streaming platforms. You can email us directly right in there, stuff like that. And just, you know, hit us up and stuff like that. And we'll help you out, because that's what we're here for, you
Yeah.
know. And one thing that I did start up here recently is I'm gonna start sending a newsletter every week. Just basically as like a helpful reminder to let you know what we talked about on the podcast. And then maybe any other like helpful things as well too in that
Mm-hmm.
newsletter every week. So we're only saying
Yeah.
one a week. It's not going to be salesy and shit like that. But if you want to go subscribe to that, go to our website and go ahead and subscribe to that. And then that way, in case the streaming platform you're listening to this episode on does not give you a notification about our show, you know, you'll get an email saying, hey, we just dropped a brand new episode. This is what we talked about on the episode today. Here's some helpful hints. Here's any links to anything that we talked about. Stuff like that as well too. You know, and then of course at the bottom will be like, hey, you know, if you want to support us, you know, you go to the discount page on our website, you know, you can donate right there, or you can you know, shop with some of the sponsors and affiliates that we have. And yeah, you go get stuff that you already want or need, and it helps support the show at the same time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, if you want to work with us, just let us know as well too, because this is what we try to do is, yeah, we want to benefit ourselves financially and lifestyle wise by being able to work for ourselves, but we're doing it trying to help people.
Yeah, we really are.
Yeah, and that's what we do. Like, we give out all kinds of free help to people just because we want to help people, and I know, trust me, I know the internet is full of a lot of people who will give out free help, but that free help has a lot of strings attached to it, and they're literally, once they get you hooked, they fucking jerk that shit back and they fucking reel you in as fast as possible to get as much money out of you as possible, right? And that's hyper predatory. We run off more of like a consultative sales type of model, where we'd rather just talk with you and see if we can help you. If we can't help you, we can't help you.
Yeah.
It is what it is. If you don't want to work with it, okay, fine. We're not going to pressure you.
Nope.
Because if honestly, there are hundreds and thousands of marketers you could work with, and there are tens and hundreds of thousands of artists that we could work with, so if we are, either one of us are a right match, then let us know. But we're still going to keep coming here every week and giving you all dope shit, and then on the socials and through the newsletter, we're going to start giving out some extra shit when we see it as well too.
Yeah, I'm gonna start going live more on Instagram, on our Instagram, so you guys can be checking me out on there, and I'll actually post dates. We actually get some consistent dates on when I'm going to be going on there live for our Music Making Sense Pod Instagram live.
Absolutely, page, yeah. So. Yeah, he's gonna start going live on there and doing Q&A or just talking about some shit, anything y'all want to talk about or whatever. Make sure you go check that out, and we'll include those dates in the newsletter once he gets everything ironed out. If you guys listen to the last episode, he just started a part-time job
at Men's Warehouse. So
Men's Warehouse.
Yeah. And it's most likely going to be, because of part-time, it's going to be weekends. I already know that. So I could see that already. But like, I think I know I got 4 days off this week. So from Monday through Thursday. So I'll be able to start putting up some Instagrams, some more Instagram lives and stuff. So it's going to be fun, and you guys will definitely be able to come and ask questions, and I'll give reviews, the same thing, kind of follow the format of what Harkos is doing on Facebook. And also I'm going to get a little bit, I'm going to tap in more on Snapchat, and go a little harder on LinkedIn for our podcast as well. Because those are platforms that I am on a lot. So, and as we were saying with that, so with the just doing the different social medias that we are strong at. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're using our strengths, just like that, that band. That one lady, she has a hell of a strength with music videos. Yeah, so they use that to their advantage.
Exactly.
And so. Absolutely. Well, did you have anything else you wanted to touch on today, man? I mean, I feel like brother, man. Yeah, we just kind of went on it,
We definitely got on.
Absolutely. So, yeah, again, musicmakingsense.pod.com for any and everything Music Making Sense podcast. There's the discount section y'all can go to, and we got a lot of dope affiliates that you can go and shop with, and they don't charge you anything extra. Most of the time they give you a discount for using our link in order to go and shop with them, and then it helps support the show, and you don't pay anything extra for that. They pay us out of their pocket, you know. So if you're already in the market looking for something, go check out our discount section first before you go shop anywhere else, because you may end up already wanting to go to one of the places we have an affiliate partnership with, and you can go support the show at the same time. But
and it's funny you say, that's so cool too. Yeah, we got to fashion.
Exactly. Yeah, there is fashion as well too. Yeah, we got Men's Warehouse man over here and everything. But also, if you're not looking to spend money or whatever, okay, cool. Share the show.
Yeah.
Send it to at least one person that because if you're an artist, at least one other artist. If you got any value whatsoever out of this episode or any other episode, just share it with people. Be like, hey, I think you might like this. Or maybe you want to share this episode with somebody because you like, I know a motherfucker just like that dude Harkos is talking about. Let me send this shit to him, because you never know. It might trigger something negative or positive inside that person and help them out.
And if you want to be, even if you want to be a music professional, like in the business as a working behind the scenes and understanding how artists work and how they operate and understanding how audiences and things work too, we help you with that as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's psychology level. Neither one of us have a degree in it, but we have real world.
We understand. Yeah, we got real world. Yep. Yeah. Understanding crowd psychology.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's psychology is just observation and thinking. You know, you don't have to have a 4-year degree in it to be good at it. Now, to be a very, very high professional at it, possibly, you know what I'm saying? But that usually takes a lot of clinicals and a lot of years experience as well too. You know, like, to be like a Jordan Peterson style level, you know, with his career he had before he started doing podcasts and stuff, where, you know, he was like a collegiate level professor as well as had a lot of clients doing psychology and stuff like that and helping people out with mental health and shit like that before he even hopped on the internet. You know, like that takes a lot of years of
something work. I think he needs to stick to instead of trying to break down people's culture and race, because that's something I feel like he's very weak on. But anyway, that's another subject.
Hey, that's personal preference on everything as well too. You know, like I said, I was just trying to say before he even hopped on it, you know, it took a lot of stuff to get to psychology, you know, and we don't have those years of the experience with it, but we have hands-on real world ground level experience. We're not looking down at people from I'm the doctor, you're the patient level. You know, we're right here in the fucking mud looking around at all these dirty people, you know, to use that metaphor. So
because we're definitely dirty ourselves, bro. We had to we went to that mud too. So understand. Absolutely. We get it.
Yeah, and we're still grinding to get it. We still have regular jobs and we work on our music, you know, and we work on our businesses and everything like that. Like we grind as much, if not more, than most of y'all listening right now. So again, anything you want, need, or just are interested in, musicmakingsensepod.com. And we will get fuck out of here and see y'all on the next episode next week. Make sure you follow the socials, streaming platforms, all that good shit, and let people know about the show. And we will see you then. KP, anything to say, man?
Nah, man. We're out, brother.
Y'all have a good one.
Holla.